but I never tested it on Twitch. So I'm gonna see if I'm live on Twitch. Oh, it's not. I am live.
Yo, we're trying to strike shit like a match, nigga. Did it on a balance,
Cool.
stuff.
Now I can send the stream live from the dorm, bro. Live from the room.
Hey man,
Listen, casual takes note. He just hits.
Casual takes note. He hit.
Yo.
Hold on, Steven. Have you started the pod yet? Are you live?
Yeah, I'm live on Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, you
talk about, I'm just bring it up. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. There was an old man on TikTok that was going crazy. He was wigging on you for no reason, like he ain't have no life, bro. So I just want to hear your.
When did it drop?
No, Cap
Mike Tomlin.
Yesterday that video.
Did it drop though?
When did it drop?
Yeah, because I usually think I might know what you're talking about. I usually see when people stitch my videos.
I don't know, bro. He was basically like the weirdest dude I ever seen in my life. Like he was
an old head. He was like 40
old, bro.
On like it was on YouTube though. It wasn't on Twitter. It was on not Twitter. TikTok. It was on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You have the link?
Hold on, let me show you. I was trying to strike shit like a man.
Who was even trying to? I really don't even know like his argument, but he was just saying like basically just calling you young because of your take. It was
in my comments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Joking, bro. He's a joke.
Yeah, dude said I can't talk about a grown man doing a job
exactly.
from like 2 years old.
He ain't got
yeah,
no
bro.
Right, niggas are taking.
Bro, look at this. Hold on, look at this. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Bro, look at that on the W panel, bro. Look at that. Look at this software, bro. Look at this software, bro. Comments can come on the screen, bro. But we can get started. Welcome everyone to the 10th episode of Some Casual Takes, a podcast hosted by me, Stephen Pepper, featuring other sports fans debating interesting topics with the most casual takes. This episode is brought to you by no one. It says powered by StreamYard. That's not a sponsorship though. That's just because I'm a brokey and don't want to pay for the paid version. $20 a month, we good. I'm in school now. There was no pod on Monday or Tuesday. I tried to make a Tuesday pod, but it didn't work because I was trying to get used to my school schedule. But we're back now. As you can see, change of scenery. Look, dude, my background fire, bro. Look at that. That background fire. Background. Bro,
wait, what's the other one? Right next to
this is Tariq Glenn. I went to his Colts retirement ceremony, bro. When I was at a Colts game, they had it, and they were just passing them out. So, yeah. Give it up to episode 10. Yeah, give it up to episode 10, bro. Double-digit stream. We got Skino back. Got Capo and NBA insider Chris Armstrong, bro. No, dude, I was supposed to have Hutch in here today, but he's going he has stuff to do. But the conference championships, Capo. Before we get into this is NBA pod, but I just want to say, who do you got winning Sunday games?
Chiefs over the Bengals, and I think the 49ers.
Chiefs over the Bengals.
Yeah, I think the 49ers might get it over the Eagles.
Even with Mahomes, it's like ankle sprain.
I don't think
he looks good,
I think
bro.
Mahomes can make it happen regardless of injury.
Yeah,
that's gonna be an interesting. That game's gonna be interesting to watch. Cincinnati and Kansas City, because this goes into last year because it's a rematch. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. And bro, it's a little bit. I'm a little bit biased. I'm just hating.
100%. So that's what I'm saying. Bro, I'm with my boy Cap. Yeah, it's F Joe Burrow.
I can't wait.
Where's this Joe Burrow hate coming from?
Even though it's Kansas, I really don't know. It's like I think it's because Browns and Cincinnati, like right now Cincinnati's winning Ohio sports in terms of NFL. You know what I mean?
And
So to me, it's like I hate it. It's disgusting. I hate it. Eli Apple, bro, he's cooked man's, bro. I hate
fuck
him.
that
Oh,
man.
nah,
No.
hate him.
I don't give a fuck.
Hate him.
That's an Ohio State boy, but fuck that man.
Fuck him, bro. It makes no sense, bro.
I've never seen a person talk shit like that. Like who's done
Oh
absolutely.
no, dude, he was Chad on Twitter, bro. You see his tweets? He was
Yes.
Chad.
He said Cancun on 3.
Cancun on 3 is crazy.
Bro.
Nah, but who do you got winning the Philly Niners game?
I think the Niners, bro.
It's gonna be a good game. I think the Niners are gonna win.
It's like it's gonna be a close game, but I'm thinking the 49ers are gonna pull through.
Honestly, I want Philly to win.
I had the 49ers being in the playoffs, so I'm gonna stick with the 49ers. Although my Bills that I picked, that I keep getting clowned on by people who come back to my video, the script isn't leaked, but I want to pick the Bengals because I think they're better than Kansas City. But bro, Mahomes is the greatest quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the league and already top 10. I just can't see a world where he's lost 4 straight to one man.
Exactly.
Right.
I
don't know. I think he just gets it this time.
That shit slide.
I don't know if he's letting that slide, bro. 4 straight to one man's crazy. Dude, if Joe Burrow beats Patrick Mahomes 4 straight, we could be living in a world where Joe Burrow might be better than Patrick Mahomes.
No, lie.
As a pure quarterback.
Let's be real. We all know this. Listen. We all know Mahomes is the best QB in the league, okay? We all know this because no one's doing what he's doing. But if we said 4 times, right? If he's getting scraped by Burrow, bro, like it has to mean something. You know what I mean? It has to mean something.
Mahomes was still going to be the better quarterback, but that conversation is going to happen in the offseason. You know, it's going to happen. That conversation is going to happen in the offseason. But football's boring, bro. We want to talk hoops. Let me switch to my thing. I got dual monitors set up. So last night, I think it was last night because that's when I first started hearing about it. I don't know about the entire team, but I know at least the All-Star starters dropped.
Team LeBron versus Team Giannis.
Chris, do you know of the entire All-Stars or was it just the starters? Because I know for sure it was the starters.
It's the starters for the 2 teams.
Starters. Yeah, I think it was at least the starters. So the starters and the team captain LeBron. LeBron got the most. They give it to the most fan votes. So LeBron's always going to be team captain.
Of course.
Isn't LeBron undefeated since they did the Team LeBron thing?
I think so.
Yeah, they are 6-0.
Wow.
In the format. So obviously it's going to be a different All-Star game. But I got to pull up the names of
I got the
teams
names right here. I got it right here. So in the West, we got Team LeBron. Well, it's not technically Team LeBron because they had to do a draft. But the Western Conference team led by LeBron got Curry, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and that boy Zion Williamson got in as the second forward in the West. Zion Williamson, that second West spot was very low because it was like that forward position. Anthony Davis is hurt, Zion's even hurt, but because All-Star starter is like a fan thing, I think they determined it by fan voting. So
no, I just checked. It's a mix of media, fan vote, and player vote.
Yeah, picks.
I thought fan voting had a lot of power, at least the starters.
Yeah, I think it has more power than all the other ones, but they play a part, and I didn't know that until.
Okay.
It's really the players that pick, because that's just the main thing. I feel like. I think the All-Star voting counts, but I think we already know who's gonna be, considered.
Yeah,
up there
I have no problem with the West. I think if AD was healthy, it would have been Anthony Davis, but I think Zion's played a bit more games. Mm-hmm. They have a higher seed. He's got more votes. And, he's more fun in the game. I'll give it to him. Some people said they wanted to see Ja Morant or SGA in the game. I don't know about what you think, Chris. I just think Curry and Luka just had better years. I wouldn't put Ja
I agree.
SGA over them. No,
the only thing
in the Eastern Conference, because I got to go with the East is going to be different because you got, of course, it's Team Durant, but because of Kevin Durant being –
it's Team Giannis.
Oh, yeah, Team Giannis. But now that Durant's going to be out for at least a month, I don't think that KD is going to be a starter. He's probably going to be out for the All-Star game once again, obviously.
Yeah. So Team Giannis.
In the East, it should have been Embiid.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. It's Kyrie and Donovan Mitchell. I got no problem with them being the guards. I think those are the 2 best guards in the East.
And it's going to be awkward for Donovan.
Kevin Durant's hurt, and I don't think he will play. But we have to vote him in initially as the starter. He's having an MVP year. I'm fine with Kevin Durant being in there. Giannis, obviously, That's a starter.
Embiid.
Embiid
I
should have
can't
been
put Jason
invited.
Tatum over Joel Embiid, bro.
That's
I
what I'm
just can't.
saying.
I can't.
Get him out of there.
That's what I'm
can't.
Get him out of there.
saying.
Get him out of there.
Jason Tatum's
Literally
good,
can't.
but bro, to disrespect Joel Embiid in his entire career in terms of accolades is crazy.
It's insane.
I mean, look. I mean, when you compare Joel Embiid's year to Jason Tatum's, I have Joel Embiid actually higher on my MVP ladder, and let me tell you why. He's got more points, 0.3 less assists, and he's a big man. Same 3-point and free throw percentage as a big man, and he's a second seed without his teammate being top 10 in MVP. Joel Embiid should be starter. What happened to this? What happened to a center being an all-star starter? How is Joel Embiid not an all-star starter, averaging 34 points a game, second seed in the East?
It makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. I mean, I guess if you have like Giannis and KD, like you don't really need a big, but if KD's not playing, no, fuck that, bro. Tatum alone is not.
It doesn't even have to be by position. Joel Embiid is just having a better year than Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Philly's second in the East.
Yeah, because Brooklyn's losing games now because no Kevin Durant.
They're second, bro.
Milwaukee's losing games now because Giannis has been out.
They didn't have.
I mean, Philly's number 2, Boston's number 1, and Brooklyn is number 4. Cleveland is 5. Miami is the 6th seed. New York is 7th. Atlanta is 8th. Indiana is 9. Washington is 10. The 2 teams that are supposed to be good, Chicago and Toronto, are 11th and 12th. And then the Orlando Magic.
Talk about Chicago later because I actually have a point about Chicago, but back to the All-Star.
Yeah, because we got to mention the Bulls because there's a lot. I'm going to be going off about the Bulls and how pathetic they've been this year.
I got a point for the Bulls, but I just don't like Joel
and Toronto.
Snub, bro. This just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right, bro.
I mean, even last night they talked about Sabonis should have been a starter for the All-Star game. I think Sabonis should have been the starter. And I agree. And for and when they announce the reserves, hopefully for the reserves, Markkanen, Sabonis, SGA, or anybody else in the Western Conference gets voted in, because if fans are saying, hey, let's vote for Klay Thompson, or hey, let's go vote for Draymond or Wiggins or whoever else in the Western Conference is the top team that won, don't do that. I always say for fan voting, do not vote for players that have been in the All-Star game. Vote for players who have been proving themselves this year. So SGA, he should be a starter. I mean, as a reserve. And Lauri Markkanen
why waste your time
should be a reserve
LeBron,
too,
bro? Why waste your time voting for LeBron?
I mean, Jeff Van Gundy said it best. Like last year, he was like, I don't get why fans always say, hey, let's vote for Draymond Green. No, look at Fred VanVleet. He's worked his butt off, and he should be an all-star. And Fred obviously said that's the one thing that ticks him off the most. When people vote for the same guy every single year for the All-Star game, it gets to be annoying. And it starts to get like, oh, same person. He's a starter every year. Change it up. LeBron shouldn't be the captain because someone's like, LeBron should not be the captain. Like, he should. He's an NBA champ. He's 19. It's his 19th All-Star selection, and he's gonna probably retire soon. So
he's still performing. That's all that matters.
And he still performs, and that's why he's always voted as an All-Star. It's not about his record or about the team's record. It's about performance.
I want to go back to Embiid. The only statistical categories Jason Tatum has above Joel Embiid, they're only by like a fraction of like a point, just like 0.5. And he's playing on a better team. I mean, yeah, he's up like 3 games above Philly, but Jaylen Brown's top 10 the MVP too. He's playing on a better team. This man is averaging 33 points a game and not getting an All-Star start.
Bro, as a big man,
bro. As a big. This is crazy dominance.
Oh.
Who scored higher points a game this season?
I think it's only Luka, possibly.
I want to see you on the crazier game because I know Joel Embiid had this one crazy game that's like
against the Jazz.
Yeah,
it's like lapse in my mind.
I actually love Embiid.
I mean, Wednesday night they had that game against Philly, and he was giving it to Ben. Like he honestly was just giving it to him. And my friend was saying, he should be teed up. He should get a technical for taunting. No, it's the city of unbrotherly love. If you remember what Ben did last year, he did not want to come to practice, gets thrown out.
Yeah.
And then Joel said, it's disrespectful to literally be not a part of the team and wanting to throw the year away. And for Ben to say in an interview, I haven't talked to Joel. I don't have his number. I don't speak to any of my teammates. So honestly, Joel had every right or every reason in that game against Brooklyn to go off and stare him down and curse at him.
The crazy game. I just pulled up the crazy game. First of all, I'm looking at Joel Embiid's numbers. I swear I don't see a game under 30 points all year. I don't see a game under 30 points all year. And what's Jason Tatum's best game? That 51 point against Charlotte on MLK Day?
I
think so, yeah.
Yo, you know who had more points? Joel Embiid at 53 against Charlotte. Hold that.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. He had 53 against Charlotte, bro. He had a better game. So not only do I got more points, same percentages as a big man, better game. Only 3 games behind you in the standings with it's not a worse team like it's a bad thing, but I don't have a top 10 MVP candidate teammate.
Yeah.
I don't have a teammate also getting 28 points a game. Come on, bro.
No, I'm telling you.
Maturing is realizing that the NBA just hates Joel Embiid. Should have got that MVP that 1 year too.
Thank you, bro. I'm gonna be real, bro. Joel's been
MVP what year?
Multiple times.
I think last year.
Last year,
I'm gonna be real. I think Jokic, he definitely deserved to be top 2. But I don't think Jokic, back to back. Nah.
You don't win the MVP as a 6 seed to me. I don't care.
I mean, for Denver last year, if you don't remember with the Nuggets, he got MVP because Denver last season, if you can remember how the Nuggets season was going into the year before, they had so many guys injured. Murray
team wiped out.
Tore his ACL, did not
Murray,
return.
MPJ.
And then MPJ.
No. I mean, Jokic was valuable. I think one of the biggest reasons why he won the MVP is because I think his wins above replacement was like the highest by far in the league.
Yeah.
But
and then MPJ
you still can't win MVP as a 6 seed unless you have like the most crazy season of all time. Like a triple double. I'm not giving it to you. Because my criteria for an MVP is you got to be at least a top 4 seed. If you go biased to 5 seed, because we got the value winning at some point. Yeah, your team might be bad. You might be dragging them to this 7th seed, but winning's got to be a huge factor.
That's true.
I think that's true. I mean, he had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
My MVP criteria: best player on a top 4 team in the NBA. That's it. I mean, if you're having a great season on like a 7-8 seed, you'll still get your All NBA first team. You just won't get MVP.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just want like the league to really recognize what Embiid's doing as a big man. Like, I don't know. It's unheard of in my opinion.
They won't, bro. They're too busy gawking Jokic, bro. They won't.
That's crazy, bro. And that's what I'm saying. They look at Jokic like, I don't know, bro. I think it's really just because of Jokic passing. That's what makes him just like a little bit like considered a little bit better than Embiid. That's in my opinion, like his vision and being able to pass. But other than that, I think
it is ironic. I got Jokic too.
Denver, man. I mean, the Nuggets are impressive this season. I mean, they've been playing well with everybody healthy, with Murray healthy, Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon has been playing well this season. Remember the dunk on Christmas Day against Phoenix? I mean, that was phenomenal. And to see what the coach is doing, they're the number 1 seed. The Denver Nuggets right now are actually number 1 in the Western Conference. And they have a bigger test tomorrow. I know they have a game tomorrow against Philadelphia. So it's going to be the battle of Embiid and the battle of Jokic for the MVP race. So honestly, that's going to be a very good game to see the 2 teams with 2 leading MVP candidates go head-to-head last season.
All right. So now for the main card topic of the day. I know Ski wants to talk about this. Who's better, Allen Iverson or James Harden all time?
I'm not starting, am I?
You can start, bro.
All right, hold on.
I'm gonna let you cook. Ski.
God because I really got to pull up the stats for real. If someone wants to start, they can. Because I'm
Cali, you can start if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
I hate to say this only because of the fact that AI is one of my top 5 favorite players all time. Mainly off of just like culture wise and not really just straight hoops. But I'm gonna have to say Harden, bro. I'm gonna have to say Harden. Only due to the fact that he was a better scorer in every single way, right? Let's say, I think achievements wise, Harden has an MVP. AI, I don't know about him. I don't think he does.
AI's got the one at 01.
01, okay. And the finals trip. So, in a sense, I generally see Harden as like one of the probably a top 5, top 10 offensive, like specimens at his peak. So I don't think anybody other than a few come close, and I don't think AI comes close to it. As far as playmaking wise, he has that bag set. It doesn't matter. I'll always take Harden as a better playmaker than AI. Scoring wise, got it. Like in every aspect, he's kind of just dominated, especially like from 3-point range. I'd give James Harden the midi. I'd give James Harden his ability to get to the cup. I think that he outplayed AI in that sense. I'm definitely giving it to Harden.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah. I can go next. Going off of that, I agree with my brother Cap. I do think Harden is a better player. In terms of just his overall impact to just the game in general. I just think that whenever he steps on the court, whereas AI, when you think of AI, is like, playmaking, shooting. I mean, not really playmaking, more so I'm just going to score. And he's like, he gives you a show, right? Harden's going to do the same thing, but he actually, in my opinion, has really good court vision. And I think a lot of people don't realize how smart he is. Like ball IQ, he's pretty smart. He's really smart. So I take Harden. Of course, you can talk about how he hasn't really accomplished that much. I mean, we have MVPs. So, I mean, if it
Sixth man of the year.
6 man of the year. Yeah, 6 man of the year.
We're comparing like as a starter, though. We can't really do like his role in OKC.
Exactly.
From Houston on.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, he has MVP. I think that just in my opinion, he could have even maybe won more. So that's why I'd give it to Harden. I think AI could have too, but Harden there was like maybe 2 significant years where I think he should have won MVP, and he just didn't win it because someone else in the league had a pretty,
I don't even think Harden won that MVP when he had 36 a game. I think they gave it out to Giannis.
Yeah, he didn't. They gave that to Giannis. But I think the only thing AI has over Harden is getting to the finals. But that nigga got swept.
Yeah.
No, it was in 5.
It was in 5? Okay.
Philly won the first game.
Okay. Got you. So, I mean, didn't really put up a fight, bro. Harden had to run into the fucking,
one of the greatest
Warriors of hell.
Exactly. One of the great teams.
So,
to be fair, they really couldn't put up a fight. That was the 0-1 Lakers.
Exactly.
Right. It makes sense. So, I give it like
0-1 Lakers might be the best team ever.
Yeah.
So, definitely taking Harden, man.
I'm taking Harden. If we're all agreeing Harden, that's cool. I didn't know if someone was gonna be like Allen Iverson, bro, because like everyone's so wrapped up in his cultural impact and everyone's so blinded about AI.
And also, if you don't know, if you look at AI's career stats, he averaged more than Harden career wise. Well,
that's because Harden spent like a couple years in OKC. Yeah. He wasn't given the keys to the franchise like Allen Iverson. That's why I said you have to compare prime from Houston on for James Harden, because you can't compare like the OKC. Because Kobe's points per game has dropped a little bit because he started his first couple years off the bench.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm taking Harden too, because I think James Harden as a player is just better than Allen Iverson. Yeah. I got a more efficient score. I mean, the best thing going for Allen Iverson is his scoring, but Harden, I think, is more efficient and had the better scoring peak. Yep. Clears as a passer, like no debate. Clears. Harden's one of the best Harden's one of the best like non-small point guards to ever pass the ball.
Yes.
Better rebounder. He has the same amount of all NBAs and has one less All-Star, and he's played less years. He's not done. He's going to probably have the same amount of All-Stars by the end of the season. Has the MVP. The only a couple things going for AI is that MVP. Harden also has the MVP as well. Say what you want about James Harden as a playoff performer, but he has more deep playoff runs than Allen Iverson. Outside of 2001, Allen Iverson has no deep playoff runs.
Good.
AI made the finals in 2001, and that's what a lot of AI fanboys are going to keep bringing up. That's what a lot of AI fanboys are going to bring up. But he did it in the weak East. Like, let's keep it a stack. He did it in the weak East. You can't really name that many players who were playing the East in that time compared to the West, the gauntlet that James Harden had to go through.
Yep.
James Harden, at his peak, had to go up against the Golden State Warriors. I know AI had to go up against the Lakers.
He had to go up against them 3 times.
Allen Iverson met the Lakers in the finals. James Harden, if he had to wait till play the Golden State in the finals, he would have went to the finals.
He would have every single
went
year.
to the finals.
Yep.
James Harden couldn't go to the finals at his peak because he ran into Golden State. And let's be real. That man was a CP3 injury away from going to the finals over arguably the greatest team of all time. And we could have a completely different narrative right now.
Yep.
So I know a lot of people are going to bring up AI's finals run. Man, if James Harden was – come on, bro. If James Harden at his peak had a weak competition like Allen Iverson, he would have went to multiple finals. Multiple. So I just got to give James Harden – because I think James Harden's just the better player.
Yeah.
He's just a better player.
I agree.
Chris, what do you guys say about that, bro?
Harden obviously has played really well in Houston originally, but he's had to go up against a lot of competition in the Western Conference Final. I mean, what
super team, what dynasty did AI have to face in the East?
The Lakers in the finals.
Yeah, the Lakers in the finals. During that,
but in the Eastern Conference,
1 year, who do you have to face in the playoffs compared to prime James Harden?
Nobody.
You can't.
Nobody in the East.
You can't tell me.
Nobody.
So don't bring
Eastern
up the
Conference
NBA Finals. Don't bring up the NBA Finals, AI fanboys. Don't bring it up.
Yeah, and I always keep telling people he's never a champion. Like my dad always said, AI is never an NBA champion. The only thing he's done was that little crossover on Ty Lue. That's the only impressive thing that he did in that NBA final. And then since then, he keeps on just saying he's not a 75th player. He's not a Hall of Famer.
No, he's 75.
I told him he is a 75.
He's 75.
It's not me. It's coming from my friend. He said he's not 75. I told him, yes, he's 75th. And he's a Hall of Famer. It doesn't matter if you won a championship or not. Being a Hall of Famer in the NBA, like even if you don't win a championship or anything, you still are a Hall of Famer. Like he made a comment about Yao Ming and said Yao's not a Hall of Famer. Yes, he is. He was the first Chinese player to be in the NBA, actually. So there's no.
Chris, look at it this way, because a lot of people are going to bring up 01 for Allen Iverson. Take 01 off of Allen Iverson and take James Harden's take James Harden's best year away from him and compare the players. James Harden has way more impressive seasons than Allen Iverson.
That's good.
Let's just remove 01 and let's remove James Harden's 36 point per game year.
Yeah, 28. Yeah, 2008.
James Harden has more MVP years than Allen Iverson.
Yep.
If you take the two best years away and compare the two players, not being blinded by 01, taking the game off Shaq and Kobe, you're gonna see James Harden's a better player. He's had better seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, James Harden's career is not over, and he already has more. He already has the same All NBAs, and after the season, he'll have the same All Stars, and his career's not over. And he's
Harden's
he did,
and he's not old.
And he did that while also. And keep in mind when you talk about Harden's accolades, he has the same accolades as Allen Iverson while starting his first at a disadvantage. He started his career at a disadvantage. Allen Iverson got drafted and got the keys to their franchise and got the team built around him.
Yeah,
James Harden was drafted onto the bench.
Yep.
And didn't have a franchise built around him. He didn't have
an Oklahoma City Thunder team. He was on an OKC team with
James Harden,
the three best players.
James Harden didn't have the luxury to get a couple more All-Stars, a couple more All-NBAs to start his career.
That's true.
Because he started off the bench.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and with the point about Harden was my friend even mentioned about the Oklahoma City Thunder and said the OK3. When you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder and you look at the team they had prior, only 2 of the 3 guys have won championships, and the 2 people are KD and Serge Ibaka. And I remember forgetting about Serge, saying he's a champion too. Yeah, he was on Toronto. Oh yeah, I remember he was on the Raptors. Like, and then they mentioned who on the team has not won a championship. It's Harden and Westbrook. Those are the 2 that have not won a championship. They only have MVPs, but no championship rings. So for Harden, obviously, this is the only year. I mean, this is his chance to get to an NBA final. I think it's the only option for Philadelphia. Embiid's having good numbers, and he thinks they can get to a final. And Harden obviously is putting up a lot of good numbers despite he's been injured. But I think that Philadelphia is a team to keep your eyes on because they're behind Boston and they're trying to get that number 1 seed. Now that we're in February, now that we're getting closer to February, the standings can change at any moment, and momentum
They're
can
always
change.
a top 3 to 5 team. I don't see them ever like genuinely competing for like a final, like an actual championship.
Don't say that.
But bro, I swear.
This year's their year. This year's their year if they do so.
Exactly.
And every single season that always happens where the team has the best record and go in the playoffs, things fall apart. We've seen it before where, case in point, in 2018, the Toronto Raptors were the best team in the Eastern Conference. And what happened to them? Who destroyed them in 2018? I'm going to leave this up to you guys. What player came in there and swept them in 4 games?
It also didn't help that DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry had an all-time choke job.
And the coach got fired. To make things even worse, the guy got coach of the year, Dwayne Casey. And someone's like, that's so weird. He got coach of the year, and then he loses. Yep. And they said, why did they make the change? Because it's the same guy. I kept saying every single year, if it's one player, the same player that keeps on killing you guys, then it's time to blow it up.
He gives you the same result with a far worse team.
Yeah, and then it was time to blow. And it was time for
them because they never swept them when they had Kyrie.
Exactly.
And then,
that was actually wild. Yeah.
And then in 2017 they swept them too. In 2017 they swept them again. They swept them, and the year that they were the champions, and we already know the story where the Warriors won. But then in 2018
it went 6 games in the conference finals in 2016.
Yeah. And then it was their first time.
I remember they went the Cavs won the first 2 games and Toronto stormed back. Was that the Bismack Biyombo year? And people were like, "Whoa,
yeah,
Toronto for real."
Yeah, when that guy when he was doing like the little when he was doing that, and then Dikembe said something about, "Hey,
insanity run in 2016." Block him.
He's not. He's now in Phoenix, and that little.
He got a huge contract after that year, bro.
With the Magic,
Bismack Biyombo.
The Hornets.
He went to my crib in Rwanda. He's a good guy, bro.
Really?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Nice.
That's cool. I mean, he's not a bad guy. Bismack is, but the point is, when you have the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, a team does not make it far to the finals because there've always been historical blunders when it gets to the playoffs. We're gonna see what happens because
getting swept as the 60-win team in the conference finals.
Yeah, twice by Cleveland, 15 and 16, and then the rebuild begins.
I don't pay attention to seeding, to be honest.
Yeah, the Indiana Pacers, they had the number 1 seed with Paul George, Lance Stevenson, what's his face? What's that big guy for Indiana who used to play for the team? Because I don't remember.
George Hill.
Oh yeah, Roy Hibbert and those David guys. West. And then I mean those guys were that was a jack team. But then of course they went up against the big bad Miami Heat, and Indiana fell apart afterwards. Paul George was never the same. Frank Vogel lost his job.
I actually thought Paul George got better after
he got way better, man.
I thought Paul George
but then when he didn't play at all, the following year he did not play. The Pacers were literally a dumpster fire.
Did he come back that season? I thought he came back at the end of the year.
Yeah, he did, but then Indiana did not make the postseason, obviously, because
I thought he came back in like March or something, like very late.
I think the main problem why the Pacers failed,
trying to push for the playoffs.
Yeah, the reason why Indiana failed in 2013-14 and the second half was they traded away Danny Granger which was kind of a big
Oh,
blow
he was
because
a
Danny,
dog.
yeah, he was the key because he said, I lost a big brother. And I said, they should not have traded Danny away, obviously. And then they added Andrew Bynum, and that experiment failed too miserably. But the point is, anything can happen in the postseason. If you're the number 1 seed and you think you're going to win the championship, that might not happen because we all know what happens. No guarantees in the postseason because if you lose 4 games in a row, you go home. You're on the next flight. Well, the next flight out of there.
So can I ask you guys, what do you guys think is the top 3 teams in the East? I'm guessing Celtics,
healthy Milwaukee, Boston,
Bucks, and
yep.
Cavs. Are you gonna get Cavs up there?
No,
they're the 5th seed. Cleveland's number 5. It's Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, Brooklyn.
No, I feel about Cleveland, bro. I made a TikTok on it. You already know I feel about Cleveland.
They need to make a trade.
Let them know.
You already know I feel about Cleveland, bro.
To be honest, I think
they have no bench.
What Chris said, that's 100% facts. Postseason, you never know what's gonna happen. But I do believe that, honestly, the Sixers, me being a Sixers fan, the only people I'm really worried about is the Bucks. I think we can beat the Celtics. I think we can beat the Cavs. I think we can beat the Nets. I just don't think we can beat the Bucks. I'm not exactly sure if we can beat them. Maybe even the Nets. That might be a little.
Why do you think the Bucks over the Celtics?
Bruh, the Celtics, to me, I don't really think they're like I think right now the reason why they're doing so good is because they're kind of running off of like last season, if that makes sense.
This is a good transition because we're going to go to the Knicks Celtics game.
Yeah, it's like kind of the way I think of the Celtics is like they're kind of just running off the same that same burst of energy that they had from last season. So they still believe that they're
with a different coach,
contenders and everything like that. But I just think that the Celtics, in my opinion, if Sixers, everyone's healthy, we got Maxey, we got Harden, and Beats playing.
Boston's beating Philly, bro.
Can do something.
I think so too. I think Boston could.
I think Boston is the best team in the East.
Yeah, regardless of if they're like carrying over from the last season, that can last throughout. I
just don't believe that they're really this nice.
Unless Giannis Antetokounmpo goes for 50, I don't think any other team could beat Boston. To be honest, Philly's not beating Boston, bro.
I think the Bucks can beat Boston. Okay, I think the Bucks can beat Boston.
Offensively, I think Boston's way deeper than Philly, and it's gonna catch.
But a healthy Bucks team, I think not.
I think the Bucks. That's what I'm saying. I think the Bucks can beat Boston, and
because Giannis, just Giannis.
Not just Giannis.
But not until they get Middleton, bro. There's no way I can say Milwaukee's beating
without.
Boston.
Yeah, exactly.
Without Middleton, exactly. Yeah, without Middleton, you have to have Middleton. And what's it called? If I might be biased, I just think the Sixers can beat Celtics. But the only team right now that I think that can beat the Celtics, which means that they are very nice in the East, probably the best team in the East. Right now, the Bucks can beat them.
The only team I think that really can beat Boston is maybe Cleveland, but I don't think Cleveland can do it in a 7-game series. I don't think they could do it in a 7-game
Wait, so you guys don't think the Bucks can beat Celtics?
Not until Middleton comes back. Offensively, they don't have enough firepower. They don't have enough firepower offensively. Yeah. They would have to rely on Drew Holiday to give him 30 points a game, and he's good. He can't. I think he averaged 30 points a game last week.
He was nice, bro. No.
I think he was Player of the Week or something.
Drew is nice. What makes Drew so special to me is like it's all around the floor. Defensive, he's great. Defensively, he's great. Offensively, he can get a bucket. But yeah, if you get Middleton,
but we saw last year against Boston. The reason why Milwaukee couldn't beat Boston last year is because offensively they couldn't keep up without Chris Middleton.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. They need Middleton. They need Middleton 100%.
But you don't with the Nets, bro. I think
the Nets could do it if they get healthy. The Nets could do it.
The Nets can too. To be honest,
the Nets could do it. The Nets could do it.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to let's talk about that game. That was an exciting.
But I don't want to talk about just the game specifically. I want to talk about this question. So we know the Knicks beat Boston in overtime. It was a crazy game.
Yeah.
Are the Knicks a serious playoff team? I'm not talking about contender. I'm not talking about contender.
Yeah.
I'm saying like a team that could go win a series or two, possibly slip in the conference final.
I think the Knicks are a playoff team because they turned it around from last season.
No, not playoff team. No, I'm not talking about playoff team. I'm talking about like a serious playoff team. A team that's not just gonna get bounced out of the first round.
You said
they can win you a round.
They can win first round. I think they can win a first round.
I think they can win the first round because they changed up the roster they gradually changed up the roster this year. And compared to last season when they added Kemba Walker, which is kind of not a good key move. They added Brunson from Dallas, which is a huge upgrade from Kemba Walker. Yeah. They also have the emergence of Julius Randle. Now that Randle's playing really great this season and not too distracted with the All-Star game voting last year or being the most improved player a season ago, he's now got his head on straight and is going to work on the court now. Of course, Tom Thibodeau has been phenomenal coaching with the Knicks this season, because last season everybody hated Tibbs and didn't like his coaching methods and everything. But the point is, I think the Knicks can make it out of the first round this season, potentially, if they play together as a team and if they stay healthy, because that's the one key thing that the Knicks have to do in the second half of the season, because right now they're playing good basketball. I mean, they beat Boston obviously last night, but I'm still not keen if they can win a playoff series.
I don't think they can.
I do not think they can.
I don't think they can get out the first round. I still don't. I still don't. And I think they got better signing Brunson, but I said when they signed Brunson, New York's got to realize you added Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle. Those two are your best players. You think you're going to really go deep playoffs with those two as your best players? To me, bro, if I want to pick you to win a first-round playoff series, and then go on and do damage in a second round and maybe slip in a conference final, not even doing that, just like do damage in the second round once you get past the first round, you got to have a superstar. You just do. Playoffs are for superstars. Mm-hmm. I mean, unless Julius Randle and Brunson average 35 points a game for like a 7-game series, how the hell is this team going to get out the first round? You need a superstar. You just can't. Look at the NBA history. You just need a superstar to get you
with New York
to that destination.
Will we consider Julius Randle a superstar yet?
No.
I mean, with the Lakers, he wasn't. When he got drafted by LA, I remember Randle. He was with the Lakers. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes the Lakers made. They got rid of him or let him walk away for nothing. And look at him now. He was an all-star.
I think he needed to leave, though.
He did.
I don't think he would have been.
When you look at the standings, you're saying they can make it out the first round. They're the 7th seed right now, and probably the highest they get, and the highest they get to is probably like 5, 6. Yeah. If the season ended today, they're playing Philly. It's over. Pack your bags. We've seen it on Christmas Day. They're not beating Philly in a 7-game series.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Joel, you think Julius Randle's going to overcome MVP Joel Embiid on a 7-game series? If they have to play Philly, it would mean Julius Randle have to outplay Joel Embiid for 7 games. You have to pray that Joel Embiid dislocates a finger and misses like 3 games.
Yeah.
You would have to pray.
I can only see them like beating.
They're not beating
like
Boston.
Miami.
If they slip to the 8th seed, they're not beating Boston.
Yeah.
If they get to the 6th seed, they're not beating the block.
Yeah.
I know they beat Boston last night, but bro, if Jaylen Brown hits his free throws, Knicks lose.
Yeah.
So, and it took you it took the Knicks, Brunson and Randle to have like master classes to even be in this game. It didn't even be in that game.
Yeah.
So what is it going to look like? What is it going to look like when Julius Randle becomes, comes back to earth a little bit? What is it going to look like when you're not getting, when RJ Barrett's inefficient? What is it going to look like when you're not getting 17 from Quickly? What is it going to look like? You know what I'm saying?
Got 17?
Yeah, Quickly got 17 last night.
Damn. Oh, I thought you said he was averaging 17. I was about
averaging.
No, what is it going to look like when Julius Randle's not having 37?
Yeah. So
you had to do all that. You had the game of your season, and you were still free throws away from losing that game.
Yeah.
I can't tell you're gonna. I can't tell you're gonna win a playoff series unless you somehow get like a 4 or 5 matchup with Miami. Yeah. And even then, bro, I'm not. I mean,
Miami's tough team
there, but Miami knows how to overachieve in the postseason. I don't know about the Knicks. I mean, no offense, Knicks. We've seen you against Atlanta. I know you'd have Jalen Brunson then, but we've seen you against Atlanta, bro. We know how, we've seen you in these moments.
Spitting on Trae Young.
I take that back. I take that Miami shit back, bro. They were a couple plays away from knocking Celtics out, bro.
I don't think they're beating Cleveland. I don't think they have enough firepower to beat Cleveland. They're not beating a fully healthy Nets. You're not beating a fully healthy Nets. Like you would have to like. I think they would beat like probably like they'll beat like in Atlanta and they'll beat Indiana, but they're not going to see
in
them first round.
Washington.
Like if the Knicks
Or
make the
Washington.
playoffs, if the Knicks make the playoffs, they're gonna play some of the best teams in the league. Because I don't think they're gonna be a top 4 seed to get some bottom feeders. They're gonna be playing the best teams in the league first round.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
The top teams in the East have MVP proven superstars. And not only that, they have way deeper talent than you. You're not going to be able to overcome that.
I agree with that.
Julius Randle is hooping these last couple of games. But this is playoff basketball where we need hooping consistently. Efficient scoring consistently.
Yeah. All right, Steven. I'm sorry to cut you off or whatever. I'm about to bang out real quick. I got to go to work.
Oh, you're good, bro.
Love you, boys. Y'all continue this great discussion. I'm gonna be watching from work, man. All right.
Hey, my boy.
Uses.
Yep. So we talked about Boston, of course, in New York, but I got to ask another opinion about that game. What did you think about that game overall for Boston?
Tatum looked good. I thought Tatum looked good. All they really needed was just. I mean, I'm not going to penalize Boston for you know what you know what I know, but you know what I believe about Boston. I think they're the best team in the East. Tatum played good. Brown was a little inefficient. Brown freed those away from winning that game. Julius Randle had to have the game of his life. Brunson had to give you 30. He had to get 17 off the bench for New York. New York had to play their best game of the season, even beat you, and you were still free throws away from winning the game. So,
I think the same thing. Jaylen Brown free throws is the only thing stopping this, you know.
So I'm not going to sweat it.
Yeah.
And then there were 2 games that were televised. We have New York and Boston, and then the last game of the night between the playoff rematch from last year, Phoenix and Dallas.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it, so I didn't put it in my notes. I didn't watch it. What happened in the game?
Luka hurt his ankle early in the first half, and people that were Maverick fans are like, "We're not going to beat Phoenix," but they did. Dinwiddie played well in that game.
They got their first win without Luka. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I heard that. Dinwiddie banked in a 3, and then of course Phoenix came back down, and then if you have Chris Paul trying to do Chris Paul got a layup and got it in. They tried to get a coaching challenge, didn't really work out. Phoenix will go on to lose that game, and I think this is a playoff. This is actually
I'm not sweating that game.
I mean, Booker did not play. He's still out. Booker's still out with his injury. With his
you said you were going to go to the Bulls. I don't want to make this a Bulls slander segment, but Bulls are going to be mentioned. So I saw a tweet the other day that the Lakers could be looking to deal Russell Westbrook for Zach LaVine. It'll be Westbrook and 2 first-round picks for Zach LaVine. Is Westbrook and 2 first-round picks worth Zach LaVine?
I do not think so.
No, I don't want Zach on the first thing is for the Bulls. You guys can keep Zach. I keep Zach. I want my boy back home. I want Caruso to come back to the Lakers in a deal. Like get rid of. I mean the Kendrick Nunn deal. That was a good trade. I thought that was good to get rid of Kendrick for Rui Hachimura because Rui can shoot, he can rebound, he's athletic going on the fast break. If you remember that video of him dunking on Anthony Davis a season ago, that was when I circled him and said, we need to get this guy in a deal. Look, we need to trade for Rui Hachimura. And a trade happened, and that was a good move for the Lakers. But getting LaVine for Zach, getting Zach for Westbrook, I don't see that happening because Chicago has him locked up, and they're not going to trade him.
It's not that you don't see it happening. It's like, do you think it would fit?
No, I don't think it would fit. I think LaVine fits. I'm not gonna lie, another star that can, line up with LeBron and AD. I just don't think Westbrook and 2 firsts are worth LaVine, knowing that you can revamp the whole lineup with that same trade. Like for me, I would go and turn around and try and get like I like the trade that I heard about a Josh Richardson.
The San Antonio one for Jakob Poeltl and Josh Richardson. I forgot who else was going to be in that.
Doug McDermott.
Yep.
Yeah,
Would that be the 2 first-round picks as well?
That's what I don't know. I don't know about that I don't know about that coming with 2 first-round picks. Kind of over the Miles Turner, Buddy Hield type situation right now. But
I don't like. I agree that Westbrook and not only is Westbrook and 2 first-round picks too much.
yeah,
I don't even think it's a good fit. I don't think it's a good fit. I'm gonna remind you, what did the team look like when they won the championship in 2020? LeBron, AD, and a bunch of great solid role players.
yeah.
That's all they need.
Caruso.
That's the formula. And what was the team like in 2021? The closest they've ever been since. LeBron, AD, and a bunch of great role players.
That's facts. Yeah.
What happened when
that 2021 team was?
What happened when the team collapsed? They try to get the 3rd star. The Lakers, the formula is right in front of your eyes. Don't try to get a 3rd star, especially when it's Zach LaVine, who has a little injury history. Don't get a 3rd star. The formula is right there. Just do it. Just trade. If you're gonna trade Westbrook, which I don't even know if they should, unless they're great deals on the table. I kind of like him coming off the bench, even though he's really dumb. I kind of like him coming off the bench. The Lakers don't need a 3rd star. That's not what won them the finals. If they trade Russ, it should be for a bunch of role players who can come in, shoot, and play defense. The formula is there, Lakers. Don't get a star, because I think the star is just going to ruin the whole thing. You have the 2 pieces to build around. This isn't a big 3 league. It's not. You have the pieces to build around. You have your 2 stars. You have 2 top 10 players in the league when healthy. Just build role players around them, and you'll go to the final. You'll go to the West Finals if you do that. A 3rd star would just ruin everything. The formula is right there for the Lakers.
Yeah. I think keeping Russ, I honestly, I've been convinced that Russ is a good piece off the bench. I would just ship those picks off. Maybe I'd get rid of a guy like Pat Bev.
Unless that star player is Kyrie Irving, then I'll take Kyrie.
Oh God, yeah.
I'll take Kyrie. Should have done this summer, but
I kind of agree. I agree with that statement because when you look at that Laker, when you talk about the whole role players thing, when they won the title in 2020, you had guys like Quinn Cook, Avery Bradley, J.R. Smith, and Deion Waiters.
You had your KCPs, you had your Alex Caruso's, you had great role players.
You had JaVale McGee.
2021, you had your Dennis Schroeders, you had your Montrezl Harrells. You had great role players. You had the Marquise Morrises. You had great role players, and then your 2 stars.
I do think the great role players
if you're going to trade Westbrook and picks, trade to San Antonio, get a Jakob, get a Josh Richardson, get some role players who can play 3 and D, who don't need the ball. Build that around AD and LeBron. You're going to the West Finals. Don't get trapped up in the 3rd star. Don't get trapped up in the 3rd star because it won't work.
Don't need a 4th. You don't need a 4th star. You don't need to get
because you've seen the formula work. Just go do it. It's worked before. And before LeBron gets too old, just try to repeat the formula again.
I mean, this is a different Lakers team. And I mean, over the years, the Lakers have been a good team in the playoffs. In 2020, they were a phenomenal championship group because you added LeBron, AD, JaVale McGee, Caruso, Dwight Howard, and a bunch of other road players. But then when they played the Phoenix Suns, we saw the kinks in the armor when AD hurt his groin and they weren't going to beat Phoenix. And then they said, we're going to be back here next year. We're going to be in the playoffs. Well, things did not go as planned because they got rid of Schroeder. They got rid of Alex Caruso. They got rid of a bunch of other road players. And the lineup was injury depleted. And Frank Vogel couldn't really get the team connected. And Frank got fired, which is kind of like the worst decision, which is not a good decision to fire the coach. Darvin Ham takes over. Things started to gradually get a little bit better, but then things will get worse. But now that AD is healthy, they're obviously now I think they're going to go on a run like the Pelicans did last year. I think the Lakers are going to go on a run where they're going to try to make the postseason and get to the playoffs at the end of the year or play-in tournament or whoever they play in the play-in tournament because I want to see that. I want to see them try to make the playoffs and not sit at home and not get lottery picks because
I want to see
that's the worst feeling.
Lonnie Walker and Austin Reeves. That's all I want.
Because that's the worst feeling if you're a Laker fan. If sitting at home and not seeing LeBron in the postseason, that's like, because that's always happened. Like in 2013-14, when Kobe was still alive, because yesterday was, of course, the day when we lost Kobe and everything. But everybody remembers when the Lakers had Kobe Bryant and Steve Nash, and they weren't a playoff team. It was a frustrating year because they had injuries, inconsistency, and they said the only thing we can wish for is the draft lottery and see who we get. So hopefully this year they can go on that run in the second half, and they can start
more
to clutch wins.
More often than not in NBA history, teams that 4 stars together don't work. It's usually 1 or 2 stars and a bunch of great role players that win championships.
But I mean, right now they're tied up in the Western Conference today. The Thunder are 23 and 25. The Blazers are 23 and 25, and the Lakers are 23 and 26. So 11, 12, and 13th, that's the Lakers, the Blazers, and the Thunder have a good winning. There's a good chance because for today's games, I know that Portland does not play today, but in OKC plays Cleveland today. So if the Thunder lose to Cleveland, then they'll be behind the Blazers.
Dude, the Lakers
in that spot.
Dude, the Lakers are getting hurt right now. Just the fact that OKC is trying to overachieve for no reason, bro. Like
the only thing that kills me are like there's 3 separate games where I just know that refs definitely affected the last few minutes of the game, and that's why we're at that little 13 seed. I think it was the Mavs, definitely Philly, and I think it was the Kings game. So just knowing that we could be sliding into that play-in tournament already off of those losses hurt, but
like the Lakers trading for Rui Hachimura is a step into that 2020 direction. Lonnie Walker's going to come back. Reeves is going to come back. Schroeder's playing well. You got great role players around LeBron and AD. If you trade Westbrook for like a couple batch of more 3-and-D role players, we could be talking about 2020 all over again. That formula is going to be right there. It's just a matter of the Lakers see the vision. Rob Pelinka sees the vision. Bro, if I see Rob Pelinka trade for Zach LaVine for those 2 first-round picks and Russell Westbrook, I'm ending this. I don't know what I'm going to do. All right, last segment. Segment for today. We're going to do a little start bench cut. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Hold on.
You didn't say anything about the Bulls. Start bench cut. Let's just do it. Throw some names out there.
Start bench cut. Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, and Paul George.
Oh my God, that's
D-Book. I would probably might start Book because he's actually, I mean, that's a hard one because Devin's had a lot of good moments and bad moments in the playoffs, but he has a highlight reel. I mean, the moment where he got the ball in that 8-0 run against the whatever they did, Phoenix did when they went 8-0, but that moment he did over Paul George, the little iconic step, spin around, jump shot, lay on his back like he's in a coffin, obviously. I'm probably going to bench Book, and then
well, who's starting?
You picked 3 guys, so it's hard for me to because I critique everybody in the league with Paul George.
I think I know my 3 for sure.
I'm
starting Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
I'm benching.
I gotta start Donovan.
I'm benching Devin Booker, and I'm cutting Paul George.
We're cutting Paul George.
I love Paul George's game like wholeheartedly. I'm only putting Devin Booker over Paul George. It's actually a 1A, 1B type thing. Okay, so it's the only reason why I'm putting Devin Booker over Paul George is because of the fact of, oh my God, I forgot all about defense, bro. I forgot all about defense. I'm actually gonna take this shit back right now. Paul George over Devin Booker just strictly off of defense.
Yeah, you gotta have Paul George plays the defense side of the ball.
Huh?
He plays defense. You gotta have PG up there.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. I'm just thinking offensively for some reason. Paul George is one of the best defenders in the fucking league. So honestly, I gotta put him second. I think Devin Booker and Paul George have like a similar offensive bag to me. So the defense.
I'm starting Mitchell. Mitchell. I gotta cut Devin Booker, bro. I'm cutting Booker. I think Booker's great, but PG he can play defense.
Yeah, for sure.
And PG ain't soft, bro. PG's not soft, so we're gonna go. Yeah, start Mitchell, bench PG, cut Booker. Chris, give us your start bench cut.
Start bench cut. I'm gonna probably go with, for starters. That's hard. I gotta go Donovan because he's been playing well for Cleveland.
71 points.
Of course, the 71 and a great trade for Cleveland. I'm gonna probably start.
You mean bench?
Of course, I'm probably gonna bench. Probably PG, obviously, because he's been playing well recently. And then I'm going to probably cut D-Book because the Phoenix Suns this year have not been cutting it for me at all. I'm not really a Suns fan, but he has not been impressing me at all this season. And the Suns this year have been a dumpster fire.
Injuries.
I mean, it's not injuries. It's just been a dumpster fire because after everything that happened last year when the Suns lost to Dallas, there have been so many issues with the team going back from Jay Crowder wanting out, the owner being suspended, and then, of course, you have DeAndre Ayton clashing with the coaching staff and the team and clashing with his teammates. Like he's going at it with Mikal Bridges. And, I mean, that's why I'm going to bench Book because the Suns this year have been just a complete disaster.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm starting Mitchell. That's 71 points right there. But I'm putting PG over Booker. I mean, the PG slander I've been seeing on TikTok is crazy, bro. Like, the disrespect he's gotten. Do we not know who Paul George is, bro? This man is probably like top 10 smoothest players to ever play basketball.
Ever.
Like, smooth, bro. Smooth. I get offense and defense. And the way he plays is just 6'8", 6'9", bro. 6'9" wing. Like if I'm starting a team right now and putting Paul George over Devin Booker, I get two-way from Paul George.
Yeah.
And I get offensive production. It's not like Paul George is like Tony Allen. This dude can get you 30. He can shoot really well. He can get you some clips. This is a guy who's been in a three-point contest before. So it's not like he can't shoot.
Has extremely underrated playmaking. Underrated playmaking. I've been noticing recently. He's actually like they run him at point guard majority of the game, and he makes plays.
He just offers more to the game than Devin Booker.
Yeah. But I kind of do.
I said Book offer it. Let me never, bro.
You put Book on your start. You put Booker as starter, or are you not starting Booker? In your opinion? With everything I said about the Phoenix Suns this season with the injuries,
I'm cutting Booker
for sure.
Because of everything that's happened, because of everything that's going on with the Phoenix Suns that is mentioned about the whole dumpster fire and how everything has been.
I'm just cutting Booker just because he's Devin Booker. No, it does the Suns. I just think Paul George offers more in the game. I just think he's overall. I think Paul George is just a better overall player than Devin Booker.
I mean, he's been injured this season, but the Clippers, they're turning things around. It's starting to get. They're the fifth seed right now, and
I think next week we could be talking about the Clippers, bro, because I think they're coming back really strong. Kawhi Leonard, he's not Kawhi Leonard, but like he ain't. He's having some 30-point games.
Sunday,
he's there.
They have a bigger test on. They come to Cleveland on Sunday.
They spanked the Lakers, bro. Oh my god, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
bro.
And Cleveland has beaten the Lakers. And they beat the Clippers twice last year without Kawhi and Paul George not playing. But if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are playing, Cleveland's going to have a tough time having to stop those two.
Bro, if you were to tell me LeBron hit 9 threes, I would have thought they'd blown out. LeBron was just front running the entire game. Like, bro, no, they got blown out. They weren't doing.
And even though the Lakers lost that game, there were still Laker fans coming after Clipper fans and saying things like, I saw this crazy thing on Instagram where a Laker fan said, we could have had this matchup in 2020, but you guys all year long were trying to tail us and say, we're going to beat you guys. Well, you couldn't beat Jokic and the Nuggets, and you blew another 3-1 lead. So the Lakers will forever own LA, and the Clippers won't own anything. And apparently this is a Laker fan after the game when he was upset, and I'm simply saying, just be quiet. I told the Laker fan, just stop talking, dude. Just please be quiet. And he's like, I'm just speaking the truth. No, you're not speaking the truth. The Battle of LA isn't going to happen in the playoffs. 2020 is far long ago. Can you let it go? It's like, no. I'm still going to make fun of the Clip. Dude, just drop it. I always tell everybody that every single year. When they play each other, it's the Battle of LA. It's a typical Laker-Clipper matchup. It's not really a playoff matchup because we were supposed to have that years ago, but we never got it. And it would have been great if we had that matchup in 2020. But in the bubble, it didn't work out because Denver beat them. And obviously, I just got to get your opinion about the whole – you said something about the Bulls. I just want your opinion about the Bulls, obviously. You talked about the trade, but just give me your perspectives of Chicago this year and how everything has gone.
They just suck.
Dog,
they just should blow it up.
And Lonzo's not coming back.
Lonzo Ball's not coming back.
Yeah, he's out for the year. And then
DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine duo just never worked.
Last year they looked good. The start of the season they were playing good basketball. When Lonzo was healthy, they were just going on a winning streak.
I just don't like that duo. I just don't think they complement each other at all.
They don't.
I don't think making trade for DeMar was a terrible decision, and they thought they could be a playoff team. Last year, they ran out of gas because of injuries and COVID.
Was a terrible decision?
I think it was because they gave up all their draft picks to San Antonio and Orlando. They got their draft picks from Vooch, and we know how things have not worked out with Billy Donovan, and he's on the hot seat too. Billy Donovan's on the hot seat for the coaching and everything, because don't expect trades and big changes to happen by the deadline or after the season. And then the Raptors, I mean, I got a Raptor shirt on because they're playing Golden State, but I want your opinion about Toronto this season and how things have played out for them.
I don't really have much to say, bro. They should have traded for Kevin Durant, bro. Only Scotty Barnes for Kevin Durant is still the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Why the fuck do you, bro?
There's two things. Like Masai, I like him, but bro, there's two things wrong with this organization. Number one, Scotty Barnes for Kevin Durant, bro. Scotty Barnes, he's getting better, but like, come on, you had Kevin Durant
and OG Anunoby. You should have traded OG.
Fred VanVleet is inefficient. He's crazy inefficient.
Pascal
Siakam isn't going to get any better. He's all-star level, but he isn't going to get any better. OG Anunoby's good, but man, bro, the way that they have these OG and Anunoby trade packages is insane.
Bro, I saw something that people are willing to give 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, and they I think Toronto declined a trade that was 3 first-round picks.
3 first-round picks?
Bro, these OG and Anunoby trade packages, I swear you would think like he can help any team. At this point, bro, I think OG Anunoby might be like
And one more thought that I got to get from you. Sabonis and the Sacramento Kings. Do you think they're getting no respect from all the fans? Because last night they talked about All-Star game voting. They talked about Sabonis.
Sabonis is not a starter. He's
but he should be a reserve. And if they don't announce him as a reserve, it's going to be completely disrespectful. And I said this before. The Kings are they're not a laughing stock anymore. They're not the doormats of the NBA. They're not the worst team in the Western Conference. Mike Brown said that in the first day of training camp. He said, we're not the Sacramento Kings of when we were the worst team. We're changing things up. We have standards. That's one thing he said in practice when he called out one of the players. He told him, what do we have here? Standards. Follow the standards and how to play basketball. We're not going to keep doing the same thing over and over. And they're building. They like that beam out there in California. After every win, they walk up and just bam, light the beam, and they're trying to make the playoffs. And
Yo,
the Kings are gonna make the finals.
they ain't lying to beam in March when the Lakers come back fully healthy with a new traded team. They ain't lying.
Because that's gonna be interesting. Because
wait
right
till
now,
AD
people
comes
are
back, bro. Like the beam, bro. All right, bro. Bet.
They ain't like no beam because people that are
like
Kings
no
fans
beam
are
when
all
AD comes
hyped up and yelling, "We're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna be." It's only January. When we get to
The
February and
Kings.
March,
I already talked about the Kings last stream. I said my two biggest problems with the Kings, they have no superstar, and defensively they're poop.
And Memphis, and
they
they
got
have to play.
scraped. They got scraped by Toronto because defensively they're really bad.
I mean,
They'll
with the
never.
standings right now,
If Sacramento, the only way they can win is if they score like 120 points every game. Offensively, they're really good, but the only way they can win is if they score like most of the games they're going to win are going to be like 120 to 110 because their defense is really bad. They just have to like outscore you to death.
And of course, in Memphis, like right now, we have the standings right now. It's Denver, Memphis, Sacramento, New Orleans, and of course, we have the Clippers and the Mavericks. But tonight's game will be beneficial because Minnesota plays Memphis, and Minnesota has come off a loss against the Rockets, and they're still missing Cat, and Rudy's still having to carry the load, and Anthony Edwards and D'Lo. But Minnesota, I don't think they're making the playoffs. I don't think the Timberwolves are going to make the playoffs unless Cat comes back because that's the key. That's the one key player.
He's been injured for.
He's been out for months. I mean, he's not played a game since November, and I have him on my fantasy team, and I always look at the update, and I try to see, is he coming back tonight? Is he playing? And I don't think he's coming back. I mean, it's a grade 3 calf injury, so I don't think he's going to return.
First thought. They said it's worse than first thought.
Damn.
Yeah, because it might be because you don't want that whole Kevin Durant thing to happen again.
Yeah,
where
the Achilles.
Yeah, because when he got hurt originally, when KD got hurt with the calf, I noticed when I was watching that Rockets game, and I saw him grabbing the back of his leg. I said to somebody, "It's not a calf; it's the Achilles." And then when he returned and he did that little move, I knew it was the Achilles because Kobe did the same thing when he made that little move, or you see someone fall down and they feel like someone kicked them. It's the Achilles.
Well, this was a good show today. Thank you for everyone to tuning in to Some Casual Takes Dorm Edition.
I gotta give a special shout out. I gotta give a shout out for a minute. Shout out to the Denison men's and women's basketball team because they've been kicking butt in the court lately.
Shout out to them. Thank you for everyone for tuning in. Show 5:00 on Monday. Probably NFL recap because there's some big games. Thank you everyone for tuning in.
Tune in.
We'll follow the TikTok. We just hit 10K. 10K in a month.
Big 10K.
Crazy. 10K in a month is crazy. The next Friday, I'm probably gonna try to get some creators in here, bro. Like guys who actually chat about this on TikTok. I'm gonna try to DM them. I already had a lot of people saying they'll try to get on. So I never get them on because I always ask guests last minute, and I just don't want to do that to somebody. But all right, thank you everyone for watching.
Wild card.